Hello and welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today. We are about to decode a true masterpiece of classical spiritual literature, Canto 14 of the ancient Yoga Vasistha text. Now, I want you to think of our time together today as a conversation between a guru and a disciple. We are going on a journey together, an actual ascent to cosmic consciousness. And you know, the best part is, you really don't need any prior knowledge of the previous cantos to grasp the profound depths of what we're about to explore. We are starting entirely fresh, and we are going deep.
Okay, let's dive right into this. How does a physical mountain reflect the architecture of the human soul? It sounds kind of like a riddle, doesn't it? But this is actually the overarching metaphor of our text today, the Great Mount Meru. Over the next few minutes, we're going to journey from the very physical description of a towering mountain peak all the way into the profound, multidimensional reality of human consciousness.
So, to get to the summit, we'll follow a really clear path today. First, the truth of great men. Second, the departure to Meru. Third, Meru as the Mahayogi. Fourth, Sushumna and the cosmic gate. Fifth, the dance of nature. And finally, consciousness, space, and time.
Starting with Section 1, the truth of great men, the foundation of spiritual inquiry. Because as you know, every great journey requires a solid foundation before you can take that very first step. And in classical philosophy, that foundation is absolute truth. Which brings us right to verse 12. The text establishes a vital premise here: confirmation from a realized mind. The verse states, Pramananam param vacha shatatapa muner yata. This essentially translates to, the words of realized beings, like Shatatap Muni, are the ultimate confirmation of truth, guiding the seeker through the illusions of the world. So why does this matter so much? Well, because in this tradition, trusting a realized guru is the absolutely required first step. You literally cannot navigate a maze if you don't trust the person holding the map. Shatatap Muni represents that ultimate, objective truth amidst a world of constant subjective confusion. And that confusion actually has a specific name. It's called Maya. Maya is the cosmic illusion. It's the phenomenal world of everyday distractions and attachments that veils the true, non-dual nature of reality. Shatatap Muni's realized truth is basically the direct antidote to this universal illusion of Maya. Moving on to Section 2. Departure to Mount Meru. The journey begins. Let's move along and see how this all builds, transitioning into verses 13 and 14, where the physical departure towards Mount Meru actually kicks off. The text describes a chronological journey here. On day 1, we leave the worldly plane entirely behind. Day 2 involves navigating the foothills of illusion, really working through our lingering attachments. By day 3, verses 15 through 17 tell us we witness the blinding brightness of the peak. But, and this is crucial, remember that this isn't just a physical hiking trail. It simultaneously represents the mind's withdrawal from worldly, everyday attachments, moving constantly upward toward the radiant, unshakable light of pure internal focus. Now, I want you to consider the sheer significance of the number 1. It represents the absolute singularity of the peak of Mount Meru. As the traveler finally reaches the top, the blinding brightness merges all dualities, all the this versus that, all those endless distractions of the mind, into one single pointed focus. Because, the closer you get to the truth, the simpler and more unified it actually becomes.
Section 3. Meru as a Mahayogi. The mountain meditates. Just as we reach this peak, the text takes a dramatic, breathtaking shift in verses 18 through 21. The landscape itself becomes sentient.
The mountain is suddenly no longer just a pile of ancient rocks. It is described as a Mahayogi. Now, a Mahayogi is the great ascetic, a supreme meditator who has completely transcended the physical senses to achieve absolute stillness. So imagine Mount Meru not as geography, but as a giant, serene being sitting deep in cosmic meditation.
The original verses paint such a beautiful picture here. Swasta antakarnam shantam, nishkampar meru rupinam, which translates literally to, the mountain sits in profound stillness, withdrawing its senses from the external winds, absorbed entirely in the self. Think about that philosophical interpretation for a second. The physical stillness of the mountain directly mirrors the psychological stillness required for true salvation and renunciation. It's teaching us that true realization means actively withdrawing from the chaotic, external winds of our lives and becoming completely absorbed in the self.
Which brings us to Section 4, Sushumna and the Cosmic Gate, the Great Metaphor. We are arriving at verse 18 now, and I want you to pay close attention here, because this is the great metaphor, the real turning point of our entire explainer today.
To grasp this metaphor, we just need to quickly define two concepts from classical anatomy, the Sushumna and the Brahmarandra. The Sushumna is the central energy channel running straight up through the subtle body. You can kind of think of it as a spiritual spinal cord. And the Brahmarandra is the cosmic gate at the very crown of the head, through which ultimate liberation or salvation is finally achieved.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer ancient genius of the text. On one side, we have the macrocosm, Mount Meru, with its towering physical peak and its deep roots in the planetary core. On the other side, we have the microcosm, the human body's Brahmarandra, the crown gate, and the Sushumna, the central nerve. The ancient sages are literally mapping the entire architecture of the universe directly onto the human nervous system. You are the mountain. Your spine is the core. The crown of your head is the blinding, singular peak.
Section 5. The joyful dance of nature, stillness within motion. But what happens once you achieve this towering internal stillness? Do you just turn to stone? Actually, not at all. In verses 22 and 23, the narrative shifts from deep internal stillness to external, cosmic joy.
Prakriti nartaki nrityam, shivasthana samashritam. This translates to, around the absolute stillness of the peak, nature engages in a joyful, vibrant dance, expressing the bliss of creation. So the absolutely crucial point is this. True renunciation does not mean the world literally stops spinning. It means you have found the unshakable still center, while the beautiful chaotic dance of Maya continues all around you. You're no longer being tossed around by the storm. You are the calm eye at the very center of it.
To summarize this profound spiritual teaching, true salvation is finding absolute, unshakable stillness amidst the dynamic and joyful movement of the universe. It is the perfect balance between observing the world impartially and maintaining your deep internal peace. You can enjoy the dance for sure, without ever forgetting that you are the mountain.
Section 6. Consciousness, Space, and Time, the multidimensional reality. As we reach the final philosophical depths of Canto 14, we really have to prepare our minds to understand the very mechanics of the universe as presented by these realized minds.
See, Canto 14 completely dismantles our modern understanding of reality. We typically view time as a strict linear progression, past, present, future. But this text reveals time as merely a subjective projection of the mind. We view space as physical distance, but here it's just an illusion created by Maya. And consciousness? We often think of it as a mere byproduct of biological life. But in this multidimensional reality, consciousness is the only true underlying fabric of existence. Literally everything else, time, space, the mountain, the dance, is just a projection happening entirely within that consciousness.
So, what does this all mean? Why does this matter to you and me today? How do we actually apply this? First, start observing your personal Maya. Recognize the illusions and distractions in your daily life. Second, focus inward, like the Mahayogi. Find a daily practice of absolute stillness. Third, align your Sushumna energy by centering your focus and deliberately withdrawing from external chaos. And fourth, witness the dance of your life, your job, your relationships, your challenges, with joy, but without losing your internal anchor of non-attachment.
Let's lock in these key takeaways from Canto 14. 1. Truth begins by trusting the realized mind. 2. The physical ascent to Meru is actually the inward journey of your own soul. 3. The macrocosm of the universe perfectly mirrors the microcosm of your human subtle body. 4. Space and time are not absolute. They are simply projections of your mind. And 5. Ultimate salvation isn't running away from the world. It is finding profound stillness amidst the cosmic dance.
Which leaves us with a fascinating cliffhanger, doesn't it? We've reached the peak of Mount Meru, we've found the stillness, but we still have to live in the world. Our preview for Canto 15 asks, how does the realized soul, standing at this incredible peak of consciousness, actually interact with the mundane illusions of the everyday world? How do you chop wood and carry water when you know time and space are illusions? That is exactly what we will uncover next time.
But I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to carry with you today. As you navigate the ups and downs of your own life, the noise, the traffic, the daily demands, are you merely observing the mountain from a distance, getting tossed around by the winds of Maya? Or are you the Mahayogi, unshakable, perfectly still, and radiating absolute peace from the center of it all? The choice, as Canto 14 so beautifully explains, is entirely within your own consciousness.
Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible ascent today. Keep learning, keep seeking, and I'll see you on